Okay, task 1.3. Here we are. So what you have is you're given some information which we're going to work through, but I'm going to do this from a teaching point of view, right? So I'm not filling in the boxes as you would, but you should. So what you get is that, as with capital allowances, we will build this based on the year that the business does its accounts. So this business does its accounts from the 1st of April 2020 to the 31st of March. So that's how you would build this. You would always build it based on the period given to you. So for sole traders, right? So this could extend. If, for example, if they had a 15-month period, you would deal with all the written down allowances, right? Based on a 15-month period. Same with the annual allowances. You would do those annual investment allowances based on a 15-month period if it was that sort of thing. So it's very much based on the period, right? Okay, but thankfully this is a 12-month period. So it's pretty straight. So let's deal with this. So we have a general pool. We have Oscar's car. So now the other thing about sole traders is that the directors must doesn't matter, always have their own cars separately recognized. So under no conditions do we ever put the directors' cars in the general pool. Yeah, that's really important to highlight. Okay, great. So what we have here is that we have three pools currently holding a general pool, Oscar's car. So what I've also done is of course, this is given to you in the exam, so you just have to pull this out and work with it. You don't need to start remembering anything. So you have a general pool of 68585. I'm just going to write here 68585. And then you have Oscar's car, which we hold separately, 9675. 9675. And then finally, we have a computer for £800. We have a computer for £800. Okay, great. So let's see what we have in front of us. So we're told a few things. We're told that they buy a new car for the contract manager, which is fine. It's a new car. It's not the director's. So we don't need to think of it. This is irrelevant because it's for the director. The only time private use is relevant if it's for the owner of the business. But if it isn't, it's whoever the employee gets what's referred to as a benefit in kind. I don't know if it's on your syllabus. We'll see if there is a question on that. But so the whole car the car belongs to the business, so we can think of the whole car. We can work with that whole figure, 21,850. Okay, great. So first of all, I can see here that cars that are less than 50 grams with emission of 50 grams per kilometer will get 100. We'll get 100, and I can see here this is 45. So this car will get the full 100. So when I deal with this new car of 21,850, right, in the year, I will give it the full year allowance of 21,850. So the full capital allowance available for this car is 21,000. Full capital allowance available is 21,850. Right? That's important. So that's the first thing. Typically, you could put this in the first row, right? So if you have your table this way, you could typically deal with it in boxes in this row here before you deal with the main pool. So you can take the row before the main pool to deal with first year allowances. But I don't think the examiner is penalizing you on that. I think they're just interested that you're able to recognize the fact that all of this will be given in the first year. So that's the first allowance there, 21,850. Let's look at what's next. Then we have some new lorries, 1168. Now this is pretty straight, to be fair. So you have 1168,000. You have the full AIA available of 1 million. So 1 million, first of all. So you therefore have a full capital allowance available straight away of 1 million. Wonderful, right? So that's great. So you have a balance of 168,000, and this balance will spill into the main pool. It's 168,000. So anything that doesn't get absorbed by the AIA will spill into the main pool. So that's how we deal with that, right? Then it says here that Oscar gets a new car, 18685. So this is Oscar's new car, 18685. Right. So let's deal with. We've dealt with so far. We have dealt with. Well, let's deal with the main pool. That's fine. So what did we dispose? Let's look at the disposal. So we've got all the additions in there now. Let's look at the first disposal. So that's disposing Oscar's car of 8,500. So this car here, 9675, Oscar's disposing for 8,500. So that's 8,500. And we deduct that. So 99675 minus 8,500, which is 1175. Now, under normal circumstances, we would give all of this to the capital allowance, but it's Oscar's car and he uses it. There is a percentage usage for Oscar, and it says here for this car there's 20% private use, so only 80% of this will be allowed as a capital allowance. Only 80% of that, 1175, and therefore that's 940. So the capital allowance in relation, I mean the car's gone now, right? But in relation to what we're going to be able to use as capital allowance for the car is 940, because there is private use of 20%, so only the business element can be included within capital allowance. Right, let's look at the next thing. Let's just quickly do this computer. We get rid of the computer. So the whole point of holding this computer outside is to be able to, we're selling it for 600. So we, in effect, have what's referred to as a balancing allowance, if you like. So we are allowed an additional, right, capital allowance, an additional balancing allowance on the computer. So we basically, in effect, haven't depreciated. We have 200 spare to be able to use as an expense, right? So that's what a balancing allowance means. We can give another 200 relating to the computer. Right, and then finally, let's now deal with the general pool, 8650. So we dispose of the plant, 8650. So here's the thing: in the year of disposal, we don't do WDAs on the disposal. So let's just do it all. So we have this additioning, we take this away, and let's find out what our new figure is for us to work out what we're going to do. 68585 plus 168000 minus 8650. That brings us down to 227,935. And then, of course, we're going to multiply this by 18% because that is what the percentage is. So we have 41028.3. So this is the capital allowance on the main pool. We started with this spilled over from the AIA, and then we disposed of this. So we have this, and then we do that. Then here we are. Let's deal with that Oscar's new car. So we've gotten rid of this as well. So this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. We've dealt with this. We've dealt with this as well because we gave everything. It's a full year. It is just this last thing here with a new car. 1865. So let's look up here. Oops, sorry, let's look here. So it tells you that cars over 110 and go at 6%. So that's fine. So what do we have? We have 1865, 20% private use. So let's go back to new car. So first of all, what I will do is I will find 6% of this, of course. So 0.06 times 18685, and that gives, excuse me, 1121.1. But again, like I say, because our friend here is using it privately, there's a private element to it, we will now only recognize 80% of that, and this comes roughly, this will round up to 897. So all the relevant capital allowances, just changing my pen color. Whoops, sorry. Just changing my pen color just to deal with those. Right. Is first of all, we have the 1,000 from the AIA. Right. Then we have, of course, the capital allowance from the main pool. And then, of course, we have Oscar's car disposal at 940,000. And then we have capital allowance on the computer. And then the full 280.50 on that. And then we have Oscar's new car, 897. And then I think the computer we had 200, right? Of course we did. Right. So there you are. So now you can hopefully, if you can calculate the next step, because there's a theory I'm really focusing on, the next step is really just putting them in the table and aligning them. But more importantly, it's the theory that's important. Okay, great stuff. And that's 1.3.